Hi, I'm Susan Fowler, and this is the Literature Review to help answer the question, how does interviewing for compassion fatigue affect employee retention in long-term care? The literature suggests that there is a difference between burnout and compassion fatigue. Burnout happens over a long period of time, and it's usually a withdrawal or a disengagement or an indifference. It also has physical symptoms such as cold, headaches, exhaustion, irritability, and feeling underappreciated, and in the end, a real dislike for their job. Compassion fatigue, on the other hand, happens more suddenly and it's realized after an event or a loss. It's the result of empathy. The person remains overly engaged in the other person's suffering and they can't stop thinking about them. Compassion fatigue and burnout can share some of the same physical symptoms. The difference is that people with compassion fatigue really still like their job. Some of the underlying causes, according to the literature, are placing the needs of others before their own, some unresolved past trauma and pain, lack of self-awareness, and bullying, according to the literature, can also lead to compassion fatigue for the person that's being bullied and the people that witness it. It's said in the literature that people who have reached self-actualization in Maslow's hierarchy of needs are thought to have a better chance of not having the symptoms. They're engaged in other activities outside of work, and they use creative expressions and relationships to maintain and balance and contentment with life. It affects the workforce by lost time injuries, increasing workers' comp claims, increased sick days, medication errors, loss of revenue, loss of reputation in the community, poor quality indicators on surveys. Healing and preventing compassion fatigue is the responsibility of both employees and employers. Employees need to learn self-care. Employers can provide safe environments where they can acknowledge difficult situations by calling staff together after a death to help them process and grieve the loss of their relationship with that person. Creating safe and quiet spaces for healthcare workers to chill or regroup is also helpful. Encouraging the use of EAP programs and classes on death and dying, as well as other classes for things that make people uncomfortable to work and practice in a safe environment that's emotionally supported is also helpful in decreasing or eliminating compassion fatigue. Some possibilities for future study. During my search for the literature, I found very little on specifically long-term care workers and certified nurses aides. They are frontline staff. The facility can't function without them, and I really think there's merit in pursuing the causes of compassion fatigue and the effects of compassion fatigue on this group of people. Their turnover rate is high, and they're comparable to nurses when it comes to the turnover rate, which is very high. Thank you for listening.